with a round of applause. Thank you very much.
Good morning. I'm happy and privileged to be here. He said us, but it's singular. It's me who's representing the team. My name is Edgar Matthew Karuhanga, and I am a fact checker from Debunk Media Initiative. For those who do not know what Debunk Media Initiative is, we are a fact-checking organization based here in Uganda. And what we are doing specifically is trying to verify misinformation or false information. So when we talk about false information, it's an ambiguous statement, but false information is divided in two types. There is misinformation, there is disinformation, there is malinformation. So we have disinformation is just false information that is intentionally published, intended to deceive. Misinformation is when someone shares information that is inaccurate, but they don't know that this information is inaccurate. Malinformation is just you revealing private information. It may be true, but for your own personal gain. So as a Debunk Media Initiative, we are using artificial intelligence, or we are trying to build an artificial intelligence platform that is going to be helping us in making fact-checking a bit easier. Before I delve into that conversation, I am not here alone. I am with the head of communication and also a co-founder at Debunk Media Initiative. She's called Bella. She's here with me. So just a quick story about where Debunk comes from. Debunk stems from 2020 during COVID-19. There was a lot of information that was going on in social media, radio, and most of it was how do you treat yourself from COVID-19. So a lot of herbs, a lot of things were told to us, steaming and things like this to help in this particular cause. But in that information influx, we realized that there was a lot of misinformation that was going on. Remember the World Health Organization bringing on a term called the infodemic. So in that regard, we started a fact-checking show. At that time, we were still at university, and this show was mainly to debunk misinformation. We said, this is the claim that has been made, now this is the accuracy of the truth behind this particular claim. So with time, we realized that just telling people this is accurate, this is not accurate, that is not a bit impactful. If we want to create an impact, there's something we should do rather than just telling people this is false, this is accurate. And that's when we registered as an organization in 2021. From that time, we are not only doing fact-checking videos, we are doing audios that are running on radios, they're running on MCI radio, but we also have up-country radios that are translating these audios into the native languages of the people there. We also do text fact checks. They are on our website, debunkinitiative.org. We also do videos as we've been doing in the past, but we also do now capacity building. We are conducting trainings for journalists, students, civil society organizations. As we speak, we have trained more than 200 universities, more than 200 students from 5 universities in Uganda. The latest was Makerere. We conducted that training earlier this particular year. And we are also training journalists. We have trained journalists from media houses in Uganda, radio stations, newspapers, and everything. We have also trained international journalists and students. We have journalists from South Sudan. We have trained in fact-checking. We've trained journalists in Liberia. We've trained journalists in Ethiopia. So over my presentation today, I'm going to be talking about mainly how we are harnessing AI in our organization. And first, on the content was about Debunk. I've told you. Myself, I am a fact-checker, as I told you, a journalist. I'm a trainer of fact-checkers and a trainer of trainers. So I've been trained with Africa Check, the leading fact-checking organization on the continent based in South Africa. I'm trained in training fact-checkers, but also training other trainers, because we believe capacity building is the way to go. Let me go to the game changer, artificial intelligence. With the rise of artificial intelligence, we have seen a lot that is happening. But before I delve into that, artificial intelligence, according to the English dictionary, is the simulation of human intelligence processes by machines, especially computer systems. So what these folks are doing is specific applications of AI include expert systems, natural language processing, speech recognition, and machine vision. So I don't want to go into the technicalities because I want us to be on the same level. But what this means is that they are now machines that have the ability to create or generate images. You have seen some images that are always going on social media that are generated by AI. Most of these images, some people may think are true, but oftentimes they are inaccurate and they are generated by a machine. So AI has the ability to also generate videos. It has the ability to generate speeches. So how does this AI do this? AI does this by ingesting large volumes of data. And after ingesting that large volume of data, it starts correlating the patterns of that data to make sense of that data, to translate it into information. So what am I saying? This machine or app or AI is fed with a lot of information. It has the ability to look at and trying to put that information together. After putting it together, it tries to make sense of it. Sometimes it will interpret it and get back to you, or sometimes it may fail to interpret. Now that's the game changer today. Why do I call it a game changer? AI has the ability to learn. It has been fed with cognitive skills of human beings. What I mean by this is that it has the ability to learn. This is the ability to turn data into actionable information. It has the ability to reason. It has the ability to self-correct, and it also has the ability to be creative, just as a human mind. But the thing about AI is that it cannot work in oblivion of itself, because at the end of the day, it is just a machine that is programmed, that is fed with data. So the game changer here is that we can harness it to our positivity as journalists, as fact checkers, as civil society organizations, or we can just look at the disadvantages of AI. So let me even start with some of the things that people think are the bad side of AI, or the bad that we're having in AI. First, generation of claims. When I talk about claims, sorry, that is our fact-checking language. This is any information that has been put out that we're not sure about its accuracy. So it becomes a claim. So AI has generated claims. The most, I think, common photos or claims that have been generated by AI, you remember the Pope putting on some new school attire? If you look at that image, you would believe that the Pope is putting on those jackets and putting on the fancy shoes. But unfortunately, these images have been created by artificial intelligence. You've seen images created showing Vladimir Putin with the president of United States, Joe Biden. All these things, there are images that have been created by Mr. Museveni. No, not Mr. Museveni, he's not the one who creates them, but they create them showing Mr. Museveni looking very lovely, having a smooth skin, looking like a 15-year-old. All those are artificially generated images. An example are these images here. Disclaimer, they are not created by us. They're created by KQ Hub, but they're all artificially generated images. So when you look at those images, that is what artificial intelligence can do. It even has the ability to project and say 50 years from now we shall be having images like this one, we shall be having a world that looks like this, people looking like this. It's just doing a hypothesis at the end of the day. So there's a generation of claims. Many people who look at these claims, they believe them and they think they are true. But sometimes they are often not true. So because of this influx of information, social media is now flooded. We have information on all over algorithms, your timelines, you find a lot of things. Sometimes you're not sure which is true and what is not true. So in this session, I'm sorry I'm a trainer, sometimes I come off as a teacher, but I'm not really teaching. But I want to share some things with you people. Some of you know these things, but some of you need to learn how we can fact check such images. So that is why we need citizen intervention. Yourselves, the students, everybody is needed in this fight for disinformation, because AI can create disinformation, information that is intended to deceive intentionally. So what we need to do about this, I think, is media literacy. As I've told you, capacity building is the way to go. We have to teach our students in their classrooms. That's why I come to your universities. We are planning to go to the high schools as well, because we now know even young children in high school or teens have phones. So they're also falling prey to false information or disinformation. Now the other disadvantage or con of AI is that it does not have contextual understanding, and I've hit on this. AI is just a machine at the end of the day. It does not have the context of the story. Sometimes it may not add the dots together. For it, it will interpret the phrases that you've put there. So oftentimes, AI forgets the contextual background. That's why many of you have, if you have used ChatGPT, you can ask it a question first, it answers accurately, but the following question, it gives you data that sometimes is not connecting. So it does not have contextual background. That's why we, the people who are creating this AI, can harness it for better. The other thing is that because of AI, there is a lot of information that is dynamic in nature. AI has now the ability to change according to the mistakes it has made. In the past, if you realize when AI or AI images had started to flock, the algorithms, you would tell that maybe this one is AI. Sometimes the wrinkles, sometimes the way it was creating the eyes, the fingers, it did not have the ability to create fingers, but now it's dynamic, it's growing. Right now, AI can create an image of you and your fingers perfectly, 10 of them, nothing shorter. It can give you the clear skin that you have. So there's a lot of information that is changing every day. That's why we need to use AI positively. Then some people have talked about a risk of job loss. You know that in the future, according to some speculators or people with some different school of thought, they feel in a few years from now, we won't be having jobs because machines will be doing the things that we are doing. I beg to disagree. Yes, they can do, but to some extent. Because at the end of the day, this is just a machine that is programmed. It will need a mind behind it. And of course, that is where the game changer comes in, or the pros. And here I'm going to be talking about the Debunk app. So we are designing an application that is called the Debunk app. What this app is going to be doing is going to be helping us in fact-checking using AI or harnessing AI in a very positive and good way. And when we were designing this application, we asked ourselves 3 main questions. First was, what is the most important thing to address today? That is what we were asking ourselves as fact-checkers, as journalists and people in the media space. We also asked, how do we increase the impact of our work as fact-checkers using artificial intelligence? Because this is the future and this is where machines are going. We also asked ourselves, how do we work faster? Because we need speed. First question, what is the most important thing to address today? This is mainly, what claim can we fact-check? If you're a journalist and a fact-checker, you know sometimes it's very difficult to find claims using the human mind, going through TV, listening to radio, reading through articles. Yes, you can find some claims, but it's not going to give you a wide spectrum. You'll just be looking at the people in your circle. So what we wanted this app to do, or what we are designing this app to do, is actually to be able to track false information, to track a claim that has been made. Has something been said on social media? Has something been said on TV? Has something been said on radio? So we are trying to harness it to make sure that we can find these claims using AI. So AI will detect the claims for you and rank them to the importance or according to importance. So you know, for example, what can I fact check today? AI will tell you there's a claim that has been made on this TV, there's a claim that has been made on this radio station, there's a claim that has been made here and there. So that is what we were thinking of. The other thing of what is the most important thing is that there are claims that are always repeated. Someone can speak a claim, few years from now, the claim comes back. So that is what we are trying to fight. That if, in case we have fact-checked a claim and it pops back again, AI has the ability to show us that you did the fact-check on this claim, but it also has the ability to send that to debunk that claim with the fact-check that we did. I think you have seen claims that say you can get 50 GBs using this particular link. So we've done a fact check about that. So in case a claim like that comes up or pops up showing that you're going to get this and this number of data, our app is going to be able to track that and then send the right fact check or send the information to that person who has been disseminating the wrong information. Then we also, as I told you, how do we increase the impact of our work? Here, I've told you about the ability to detect, so that is more impact. That means we no longer need to go back and fact check again. The machine will be able to disseminate the right information to that person who is spreading false information. We don't need to go back again and fact check or bring back the claim again. And oftentimes these claims can come after 5 years. There's a fact check we are doing about how you cure lung cancer, like natural remedies that are curing lung cancer. And this thing, we fact checked it in 2020, but the claim came back in 2023. So our machine is going to have the ability to just debunk that claim with the right fact check that we have done in-house. Then it has a portal, what is called the Debunk bot. I think I'm wearing a t-shirt here with the Debunk bot. It is the first thing we started to innovate. It was the first number that we used in automating the fact checks. But after time, we've started to upgrade it, and we have inbuilt it in the app. It's going to be having the ability for you to just send a claim to that bot. The bot sends it to us as fact checkers. If we have not fact checked that, we can fact check and give it back to you. But in case we have already fact checked that, the bot will automatically send you back that particular fact check for that claim that you're asking about. Then lastly, but definitely not least, is how do we work faster? As fact checkers, there is a problem of data in this country. Finding data is like looking for a needle in a haystack. It's very, very difficult, tedious. Even when you get data, sometimes that data is not up to date. So you end up realizing that our fact checks sometimes take long, and when they take long, the information has already gone. The misinformation has already gone. Some people have already believed this misinformation. By the time we debunk it, it is really stale. It does not make impact at the end of the day. So AI is a game changer because AI has the speed in summarizing videos. It has speed in making transcriptions in different languages for that content that you're doing. Our debunk bot app is going to be having the ability to detect quotes and phrases that we have fed it. If there is a phrase or a quote that is being spoken of that we have programmed in that app, it will be able to detect that quote. AI speed is in detecting the claims and ranking them. I've already talked about that. And it also has the ability to edit our scripts in writing. I think that is something many people are harnessing these days, using different sites of AI that help in just phrasing texts. There are people who have programmed their emails that it's even AI that answers your email. So that is the speed we are talking about. Someone is sleeping, but this thing has the ability to get back to them, even to get back to the person who's sending an email, even when the person is sleeping. So that is a game changer that we can harness to our advantage. So let's talk about the future of AI. Whether we want it or we don't, AI is here, and it's here to stay. It's going, it's growing, it's growing, it's growing. So we either harness it positively, use it to our advantage, or let it just flood our algorithms and affect our debate. And it's okay that it's growing fast, because at the end of the day, we can use it to our advantages. Students, journalists, civil society organizations, and everybody can use it to their advantage. We can be part of the solution, but in order to be part of this solution, we have to do media literacy. It is key. Lastly, I'm going to end with how do we fact check content? How can you fact check this AI on your own right now, where you are, in case you found an image? There are tools that we use in fact checking, but there are also some things that you can use cognitively in your senses to try to fact check an image or a video that is generated by AI. One, if you come across any image that you feel skeptical about, cross-reference it with multiple sources. If you have found any information that is on one public site, look for another public site. I'm going to give an example. If Debunk has published something, let's say Digital TV, where I also work, we have published something. If you find it, you can just check on NBS, you can check on NTV to make sure that are they speaking the same thing. Because if the story is big, if an image is really factual and